I get asked all the time is, how do I get my girlfriend / boyfriend etc. into video games? It's often said to me that I'm very lucky to have a wife who plays video games, and while I am very lucky in a million ways to be with Mrs. Savage Gamer, I never considered the fact that she plays games to be one of them. Everyone plays games in one way or another, even if it's just mobile games. Okay, but how do we get them to play proper games? Well, as with any hobby, it's important to make things comfortable and, most importantly, fun for them. Not to put too much pressure on them. Some people may be happy to jump straight into an online deathmatch, but some may find it too intimidating with complicated controls and a sometimes aggressive community. But gaming has matured massively in the last 10 years, and I genuinely believe that with such a vast variety of experiences, there's something out there for everyone. What follows is 5 games that I personally would suggest to people that have little to no experience in gaming as their first steps into this weird and wonderful world of ours, in an order that will ease them in gently. In Overcooked, 1 to 4 players are tasked with navigating a variety of ludicrously designed kitchens to fulfill meal orders under a strict time limit. It has 2 buttons and that's it. But the simplicity of Overcooked is what makes it so appealing to both seasoned gamers and newcomers alike. The game is intense, requires teamwork, and will have you shouting at the TV and each other, but you will no doubt be in fits of laughter throughout. One barrier of getting into gaming is this idea of failing, but having a co-op experience makes that a shared burden. Playing with someone else gives you a sense of being looked after, and when you're dipping your toe into anything new and unexplored, it's comforting to feel like you have someone else to fall back on. Wolf Among Us is set in a world where fairy tale characters have abandoned their own world and come to live in the human world, specifically New York, using magic spells to disguise themselves as human. You take on the role of the Big Bad Wolf of Red Riding Hood fame as you solve the mystery of a recent murder. It's a fantastic journey and there's very little gameplay. Outside of a few quick time events, your main input in the game is interrogating people and making moral choices that affect the outcome of the story. And this is perfect for a newcomer to gaming. Not only does it show how far narrative has come along in games, but there's no way to lose at this game, and if playing through together, the decisions can make for some intense conversation between you, especially if you have a time limit to make that choice. I chose Wolf Among Us here as I think it's the best Telltale game out there, but honestly any of their games will give a similar outcome. Tailor the game choice to the person who's playing. If they're into Game of Thrones, play Game of Thrones. Comic books, try Batman or Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of options. To play a big portion of video games, eventually you're going to have to learn to both control a character in first person and to aim with accuracy and at speed. Portal then is the perfect training tool for just this. If you somehow don't know, Portal is a first person puzzle game that tasks you with navigating a series of rooms with the help of a portal gun, a device that can create 2 different colour portals which allows you to go in one and come out the other. Once you've wrapped the rules and logic of this around your head, you learn to zip around the maps with surprising speed and grace. But the game is a masterclass in pacing. The first areas of Portal are a perfect playground for a new gamer to practice moving around in first person. Strafing, looking up and down, circling around a target and jumping with precision, without any pressure of avoiding enemy fire or shooting at anything. The puzzles have an excellent learning curve, and the demand on the player to aim with increasing accuracy and speed starts at a gentle trot and ends up in a full gallop. By the time the credits on Portal are rolling, the new player would have learned to move around a 3D environment in first person, fire a gun, avoid enemy fire, and jump around with rigour. That online deathmatch doesn't sound too far away now, does it? Uncharted 4 is a third-person action-adventure game following the exploits of globe-trotting, treasure-hunting extraordinaire Nathan Drake, a descendant of Francis Drake. It's essentially Indiana Jones a video game and requires no knowledge of previous entries in the series. It's the very definition of a blockbuster. It has everything a new gamer might need to learn: shooting, jumping, climbing, cover systems, driving, puzzles, dialogue choices, and it's all wrapped up in one of the best looking games to ever grace a home console, with a story that is both funny and heartwarming. This might seem daunting to a new player, but by putting the game on the easiest mode you become almost invincible, running and gunning through the game like Rambo with very little chance of actually getting killed. Even for the accomplished gamer, I recommend playing it this way because it really does make you feel like the action hero the game portrays Nathan Drake as. With a little support and after being eased in with some other simpler games like that were on this list, I think this is a great option for a more traditional modern game. Okay, this is a cheat answer, but my number one tip for getting someone important to you into gaming is your own passion for the medium. Tell the person what it is about games you love, how it makes you feel, what it is you adore about them so much. Passion is really captivating. I went to Rome once with my wife, who's big on her Renaissance art, something I didn't care for or knew anything about. But my wife was so captivating with the way she spoke about something she loved, it made me want to find out more and why. She explained the history behind certain pieces, why they were so revolutionary, and how they had affected her personally. She showed me statues and paintings of things she knew I'd find interesting, rather than trying to get me to like paintings that she liked. By exposing me to her love in a passionate way whilst tailoring it to me, she made me engage in something I never thought in a million years I would find myself involved in. Make it fun, make it simple, and make it about them. And gaming might just become the most important person in your life's new favourite hobby. Thanks again for watching and giving me your time. There's a million games out there that are great for newcomers. Life is Strange is a good choice, or some of the walking sims like Edith Finch and Firewatch very quickly spring to mind. The Witness, Fez, blimey, there's so many suggestions. What would you recommend for newcomers? Have you ever brought someone new into the hobby? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.